Hi, Eric.
Hi,
Welcome.
Glenda.
Good morning. Um, so thank you for last week's session. I have had a lot of messages from people that have actually taken the journey
Okie
in
dokie.
recording, and they were very happy, ecstatic, and they're looking forward to the next transmission, the next session. And I do believe that they will be joining us for the whole journey. So, okay. So whenever you're ready, if the Council of Nine would greet us and
High degree under the Council of Nine here. Again, hi, Glenda. As we work, we always, and again, that's very important for the people to know, and also for our future cooperation with you and others, probably, is we are not looking for teaching other people, because, and that's probably also the main subject of today, people need to know, need to go inside and know of their own truth. That's why, and other people do it otherwise, no problem there, meaning channeling has a very broad space of existence and exercises. But what we do is we aim for the people to get their own answers on their own questions.
okay.
A slight theory on that is, as usual, for Eric, it's common. When you imagine left and right, can you imagine that left and right abide or exist or arise at the same time? Meaning, if I call something to the left, to the right, it's immediately there. And I'm not going to give a long lecture on that. People should understand that that is the concept of duality, and that works for everything or almost everything. So duality is the way humans experience. Because you created left, you created right, and now you can move. In order to move, you have to create duality. In order to experience, which is also moving, is you need to go from the past to the future. The past does not exist, nor the future does not exist, in the same way that left and right does not exist, or they exist together, meaning you brought them into existence. You can, what the Buddha said, for instance, is you can be in the eternal now, which is beyond duality. What we are learning here is duality is a system to experience. So to experience is when you walk from A to B, and be with me here, exact, specific. When you want to move, you from left to right or from A to B, it's the same thing. When you call on A, you call on B. That's how duality works. So when we transpose that to question and answer, then the question is on the spot of A, and the answer is on the spot of B. So when you have a question, the answer is already there. And that's most of the people don't understand that kind of duality, meaning we will be talking about questioning and answering, and that is our proposal and our solution. Go within, because when you have a question, You created A, or you created left, and by default, the answer must be there. The problem or the mistake that people make is there is difference, or there is a distance between left and right, or A and B, or question and answer. And again, this is a dual system. Then we refer to Einstein. When you go in the speed of light, the distance between A and B is constant, or one quantum.
Okay.
So, and there we will stop the theory. When you have one quantum, a quantum or an intention is the same. So what you do is when you create a question, you had the intention on having a question. So you can move very slowly between question and answer by taking it 5 years, 10 years, 2 lives, 20 lives, an eternity. But the intention, when you make the intention, and you make the intention within that the question, the distance between question and answer is one quantum, then you can state the answer between one question and one answer is 1 second. And that's the principle we like to introduce in from our, we are not physical, so we are not dualistic driven. So you can say, you can switch from question to answer in 1 second, or one intention. And on top of that, in theory, there is no preferred direction, meaning you can have an answer where you need to look the question for.
Okay.
Because this is just the if-then logic that human uses, because they believe in linear time, and they say, oh yes, the question should be before the answer, but not in our reality. That's why we do what we do. That's why we should, oh yes, that human has a question, and we bring him beyond duality, beyond 3D to the answer. And then the person who receives that answer, or the download, that, it said, no, oh, where is the download coming from? The download was there the same moment that the question was there. So that's what we are doing. That's what we are training. That's what we are offering. That is, again, that an ascended way how to perceive and how to experience, because dual experience is one after another in one sequence from left to right. But beyond the 3D, we can choose our speed and our direction. That's why we do what we do. It's not magic. And if people do that, it's not magic neither, but they have to step beyond the belief that everything is linear and that A and B have a distance, a default distance. Stop here. Questions?
Okay. Now so the answer is there basically at the same time as the question.
Yes.
And so my question is, how can I jumpstart that which is within me?
Exactly. Okay, we'll first take a simple theory, but we'll getting to the practice while we're doing that.
Right.
So the first thing we said is, okay, who has a question?
Right.
Glenda has a question.
Yeah.
Who is Glenda? As we can, if you agree, we will call you a 3D avatar or a personality.
Okay.
So it is Glenda, the 3D, who
Mhm.
has the question. So there is an avatar that needs to run in 3D, but that's the 3D avatar.
Mm-hmm.
We showed you twice already, several times already,
Mm-hmm.
that if we go beyond the 3D avatar, you don't have to run or to wait 3 weeks or 4 months or a lifetime to get to your answer. So the first thing you need to drop is, and that you're aware of that, is, oh, wait, I am not Glenda only. I'm not your avatar. I am a system. You're a multi-dimensional system. Okay, into the practice then. Okay, again. What question, and don't tell me which question, what question is popping up in your mind now? You got it?
Yep.
That's A. And now magic, which is totally not magic, go to 5, 2, 8, 4.
Okay.
Is that the answer?
It appears to be. I need to. It's a symbol. It's a symbolism, so I need to analyze it. Right.
That's why we are doing what we are doing. We're just showing how to work with that meaning.
Right.
Why is there a question? There is a question because there is an answer. But it's the trip, it's a journey between the A and the B that you need to understand. That includes the third element. You have the A, the B, and the journey. So you saw now the journey between A and B, but you didn't get the journey yet. And that's why it's symbolic.
Right.
And now you have to chew on that symbol. And now you are learning. That's why you would. And again, understand very well. And then we go back to into practice. You have the A question, whatever. You can call it left, right, up, down, whatever you want. We call it question for human sake. We have the question. Then you have 2, 1, the question, 2, the answer, and 3, the journey between them. And the 3 is the learning, and the learning curve. Okay? That was the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is for the avatar to run from A to B. But for the ascended person, which is you also, he wants to have an insight, and that's why he created the question and an answer, to have a distance between the question and the answer. And now he can contemplate on it, integrate it, download it, play with it, and that's the game. 1, 2, 1, the question, 2, the answer, 3, the integration or the learning curve. 3 elements. Okay. So we are moving from a dual system, the 3D system, to a Trinity system, the 5D system. Okay. And the distance between them is up to your higher self. How long will he or she take that path? And that is the soul path. The soul path is, I want to do in 2 steps. I want to do it in 1,000 steps. I want to do it in 1,000,000 steps. a million lives, one life, and now you can zoom in, zoom out.
Okay.
Okay. Back to your question. 5, 2, 8, 4, answer. And now look for your third party. The smiling girl. She's having a ball.
Mm-hmm.
She's looking over your shoulder. And I say, Glenda, do you understand how we can work together? She's not giving you the answer yet, but she's showing you that's how ascended we can work together. And that is channeling. That is the basic thing of channeling. Okay. Elaborate or experiment, whatever you want to go to.
Okay.
For the record, for the people,
Yes.
you only report your answer when it's personal. You say nothing or report, I saw it, whatever. It's your path, not ours.
Right. So at this moment, I am seeing galactic beings. So that is part of the answer.
Okay.
And the journey is how I get there, which I am doing now.
Mhm. I will fill it up if you agree.
Yes, go ahead.
We are introducing our neighbors, the cosmic conscious beings, who are used to do that. They were born into that 3D plus system or higher, in higher dimensions. And they want to work with us because we've been trained in duality for millions of years. And now, again, as humanity is ascending, we need to practice together with those guys how this principle works. Back to you, Glenda.
Yes. And they're showing me some ways of doing what I asked. They're showing me some direction, and they're also showing me other times that I have worked with them.
Yes. As last week, you've done this already. Because there is no such thing as linear time. You've done that in Egypt. You've done that 10,000 years ago in what is called Egypt then, but you've done it 40,000 years ago. You've done that 50,000 years ago in another timeline, which is totally unearthly. But go to 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, and you see, wow, this is Glenda too. Can you see how ugly that person is? Beautiful in his reference, but ugly as hell in human language.
Mm-hmm.
But he's gentle, he's loving, and he loves you out of this world. But he doesn't want to show himself because in human perspective, he is incredibly ugly.
And yet I see him exactly
And yet
as he is.
He's a loving being. Elaborate.
He's very loving. You could see and feel his love for everything. He does not have one single ounce of negativity. He's just basically the oneness that we all been looking for.
Yes.
Yeah.
But because of his appearance, and ask him to elaborate on that, he will not show himself. Why? Ask him.
He's afraid of people being scared of him. He's afraid that people will not take him serious, and he's afraid that people will turn away. He also has been hurt in the past in the way that 3D people bully others when they're not exactly as they want them to be.
2 questions. No, 2 rhetoric questions. He has been here in a 3D body, and he has been bullied a lot.
Yes.
And no, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, he's basically decided not to come back, show himself because of that.
Yes. And that's the second thing. You can feel, not really, but he's showing you his past fear. And then he said, oh, ETs doesn't know fear. He surely knows fear.
Mm-hmm.
In a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In a different way, but it is still basically the same meaning as a human feeling fear. Just
Exactly.
differently, but
yeah. Not as deep as panic,
no.
But fear nevertheless.
Yes.
Okay, he wants to talk to you. Again, a report. I'll be silent for a moment.
He says that we've known each other since day one, in human terms. He has been with me for many lifetimes. He's also one of my guardians, protectors.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason he's making himself known now is so I could remember or reactivate what I need to for humans at this moment.
Yes. For the record, how long will that take, just for Glenda's mind?
He said, you guys have the answer.
Thank you. You see, again, we're moving back to duality and the avatar between A and B. And there is nothing that any human, in this example, Glenda, can do if the intention is deep enough, one, but also, and that's our next question, is what the soul path is. Explain the soul path from his perspective, if you can.
From his perspective, the soul is the energy that provides life. And not in the same way as humans think, okay, it creates life. It is the energy that exists forever, part of a bigger being that will exist for as long as it exists, for eternity in human terms. And it chooses to evolve with each assignment, each lifetime, in different ways. Then it goes back and integrates with the other experiences and the other lessons. And it slowly works itself to higher conscious dimensions. Consciousness higher and higher, or that's the idea. He stopped there.
Thank you. What we were showing to the viewers here, and also for Eric and also for Glenda, is understand, viewers, that Glenda spoke some sentences, but that is only 10% max of what Glenda understood. And the rest is or out of place, but is missed because human language, 3D language, never will and can describe the feeling, the experience Glenda has. That is channeling. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, you wanted to tell me something?
He says that the best way I can explain what I am feeling right now is completely out of this world, in a very beautiful, peaceful, quiet, loving place where the energies are very loving, the energies are very caring, and that integrates with the channeling. So you are quiet, you're still. And you can feel all that and experience all that at the same time.
And that is the awakened human being.
Yes.
Okay.
And he wants to be called Chamba.
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 That's close to his original name on Earth. We can hear that's African. So we can have some imagination where it's coming from and when. Thank you, John. Eric now experiences the drum of the African world, but far in the past. But still the sound and the echo are there of a black person, very primitive, but very knowledgeable, with a lot of knowing, but with little knowledge or spoken language, but most intelligent, 100 times more intelligent than people are at this moment.
And could actually communicate more than they do now.
Yes. To break down the evolution as humans see evolution as it is now. And it's not a bad thing.
Yes.
Okay, does he want to finish something?
He will just show himself whenever Glenda calls him, whenever I call him.
Thank you.
And he is now ready because I'm ready.
Exactly, A and B. Question meets answer. Thank you, Chamba. That's the only word then you I need. And they could pronounce that a million different ways. Just to show people where language is coming from. Okay. We're leaving Chamba and we're going to the 0 point. And we have a very small break. Okay.
Good. Yes.
Yes, T.
Yes.
Okay, I think that a lot of questions will be answered and even more questions will be questioned in the next for next week. Okay. Your impression, just to
this is definitely showing me or reawakening the knowledge that I've had inside, that we all have inside. And it's bringing, at least for me, it's bringing my true reality back into right in front of me, where I can experience it, I can reach for it, I feel it. And it also confirms a lot of the other experiences that I've had that I was not sure if I was dreaming or not, and it's all coming together now. So confirming that and affirming that those experiences were reality. So thank you.
Council of Nine is throwing a joke. What is reality anyway?
Very true. Very true. What is reality?
Okay. So. And the Council of Nine are proposing two things then, is indeed what we did and showed hopefully in enough detail. There are two things that we should do or humanity should do, and we're doing it today. So it's a starting point. Is what Eric got a few days ago is a project, Meet the Neighbors.
Okay.
We just met the neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
So how it is not fun and scary at the same time for both parties to meet each other in 5D and higher and exchange stories. Only that. Noting, oh, I'm better than you. Oh, no, I know more. You see, even as a joke again, Chamba has he showed himself, was a human being. What we call a primitive human being, but it is not an alien.
No. Right. Just a being that now exists in that higher dimension that was here in human form.
Yes. And aren't we all higher dimensional beings having a physical experience
Yes.
very shortly?
Yes.
So that's one thing we should invest in. This is the proposal. And then the other one is the insights. Meaning, and that is very close to the Council of Nine, is you got, Glenda, you got more than an answer that you could imagine. And this is your new awakening state, meaning you don't need to ask Eric, oh, Eric, can you draw me the tarot cards and give me the future, blah, 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 blah. Why? The answer is already there. Just see to it that you get there. So the next thing is, and we're doing that already, is what Eric learned as teach the teacher, meaning I'm teaching Glenda. I'm teaching 10 people. Glenda's teaching 10 people. So we have already 20 people, and so on and so on. And within 10 years, we have enough teachers that we can do this on a daily basis, and we don't have to watch television to know something.
Yes. Fantastic.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay. Can we check your emotional state at this moment? Because it's okay, but
I'm very good.
okay.
I'm feeling very very joyful, very empowered with this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Questions or comments?
I find that this is it's awakening. It's what I could to say wow, basically. And the journey is so enlightening, because it gives me a lot more than what I was asking for, like was said, and which is very helpful, because now I asked one question, but I got enough answers for like 10 questions. And the feeling of meeting, say, Jamba and others is very satisfying, very enlightening, very uplifting, because there's hope. There's hope that we're just not doing this for nothing. You know, there's hope that we're doing this for humanity in general, and in ourselves and the souls that come with us. So
okay, let's
thank you.
continue. The
Yes.
second part is more intimate. So whenever you again want to say, Eric, okay, I want to close down this meeting because it gets too personal, that's okay for you. You can edit it out, because now we have already half an hour. We have your beautiful session. We will get into the second part, and where you stop, and that's easy for you because the first part is already there.
Okay.
We've told about left and right and the soul path. And we had a very beautiful example of Chamba, of showing us that the future is not always better than the past. So meaning in linear time, the answer is not always better than the question. So there is no preferred direction of evolving. That's what we mean. What we mean by that is that people want to help other people, not understanding what helping is. And then we'll go, and that is what Shamba tried to explain, but couldn't because his words were insufficient for 3D, but Glenda will understand them, and that's why we are emphasizing that. So understand that what we're telling is more for the inner of Glenda than the outer of Glenda. Soul path means you help people to evolve from A to B. And there is the A is not better than the B, and the B is not better than the A. Wait, keep there because I forgot to put the sound off. Sorry. Okay, sound is off. So the A is not better than the B, and the B is not better than the A. So helping people, curing people, improving people are 3 times the wrong definition. What you're doing is you're assisting people like you're taking a child by the hand and you move together from A to B. But B can be worse than A in human perspective, but never on soul perspective. There is no worse or better in any direction beyond the 3D. So.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, you're already there. Explain that because I don't know you have in connection, but maybe Shamba again explain.
Basically, there's no right or wrong. There's no real good, or as people call it, evil in the higher dimensions. Everything is loving, understanding, and having empathy, not caring what others are doing or not doing, only trying to better ourselves, to be more evolved beings while helping ourselves and those around us. There's no judgment. Doesn't make any difference if you're tall, short, pretty, not pretty, fat, skinny. That is not exist because that only exists in the body in this, on this earth, this 3D dimension we're in. Our soul is boundless. Our soul is eternal, and our soul is there as an energy. Energy basically that is for the greater of everyone. And whatever beings, celestials or galactic or sentient, whatever beings our soul chooses to work with, it will be a mutual understanding of respect, as we call it down here, of love, of empathy, and no one in that dimension or in those dimensions, the higher dimensions, care what others are doing, only what they're doing or not doing. And they are here and we are there, helping each other, uplift each other, becoming one. Not like in this 3D, which is all about self. It is more about unity. Because understanding that unity is what will get us higher and higher. Our souls will evolve, and the sentient beings, whether they're galactic or otherwise, are all striving for the same things. To be in a better place than we are or were. Each moment. Worrying about the moment instead of, or being mindful of the moment instead of what's around, or the future, or the past.
Okay. Again, for the viewers, and understand what Glenda did. She channeled. I don't know, and I don't care what did she channel before, but she channeled. And the first state of channeling is, and stay there, Glenda channeled information, and she's getting the downloads all together in one. That is channeling. But channeling is neutral, meaning this is a neutral channeling. This is information, general information, which is not confronting the avatar Glenda. Another type of channeling, which we will do in 30 seconds, is we will talk about an upgrade of Glenda, of Reiki, doing Reiki. And Glenda will speak to Eric and the viewers, but also will speak to herself, and not criticizing herself, but evolving herself. And he said, okay, I'm going to do this now this way. You have the floor.
As I've had this knowledge since what humans call day one, it was basically dormant until the right time, the time when humanity needed this. The time is now. And this healing, form of healing, is now opening its eyes, awakening within me. And the knowledge and that energy is now being sent automatically to those that need it. That healing is there. Just grab it. Those that want to try and feel what it feels like, just grab it. It is not for me to keep any longer. It is for me to share. Whether it's called Reiki, different type of Reiki, whether it's called whatever, it is an energy that helps healing not only humans, sentient beings, otherworldly beings, no matter where they are, every living thing in this whole beautiful universe, this whole beautiful world can benefit from it. And now Glenda is ready, and now it is being turned on. The eyes are opening. The healing modality is yawning, stretching. And now it shall begin. Shall begin to fully integrate. Fully awaken. Fully activate.
Okay, some comment of the Council of Nine here and stay there. Is what Reiki is not anymore, at least not for Glenda anymore, is a way to quickly move from A to B. In human words, there is no need for curing because there is no preferred direction. It's only the path, the energy, as you spoke, that needs to be experienced. So you don't need to take away, and that's the thing humans need to learn in this respect. You don't need to take away any dis-ease, because first there is no dis-ease. And when you take away the dis-ease, you're taking away the integration and the learning. You just take the person by hand and you assist him in the direction the soul, from the perspective of Shamba, is moving, is wanting to go. And that on itself is healing. So, Glenda, heal yourself from that past concept. In 10 seconds, I will count down. And everything you kept as the old Glenda will disappear. Not that I'm healing Glenda, but Glenda gets free choice where to go to. 10, 9, 8. Use your own new method. 7, 6. Forget Glenda. She's gone. 5, 4, 3, 2. You're here. 2, 1, 0. Take your time. You don't need to answer, but just for the viewers, understand how Glenda, the old Glenda, took away diseases from other people and carried them for their sake. Not a good idea.
And I release them.
Thank you. For the record, you're not giving them back. You're just releasing them.
Correct.
And that's part of the new job. You just release them to 0. They're going nowhere. They are free. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Try to be silent, even though we're in a meeting. For a minute, integrate it, embrace it. Keep silent till I'll tell you. It's about a minute. Okay.
Okay. Oh. My stomach even feels better.
I wonder why. And again, for the record, for you, you've not done it wrong before. You've done it how you done it up till now.
And I can share this. It was more like I was out and I saw myself from up down in a complete different place. That was my experience.
Yeah. And then for the record and for the viewers, never do a healing from your 3D state. Never.
Correct.
Because the 3D state is a conditioner, an executioner, and not a planner. So, and that's what we learned here. You need to meet the planner who knows the soul path, and that is the correct frequency and the correct energy level. And we can elaborate on another day, meaning, for instance, for Eric's sake here, we can go, where is the problem? Is that in 5D, in 60, in 70? Is that yesterday? Is that in the future? And that's the correct approach. But I have a cough. Can you take away my cough? Please don't. Okay.
All right.
You have the last say for the meeting, so to speak. So whatever you need to tell the persons or whatever, you have the closing part.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the Council of Nine. Thank you to Eric. Please continue sending me your messages and let me know how this journey is going for you. Many blessings. Till next time. We love you.